it would be an incident or something that some type of incident reporting. Instead of trying to find the best tool to go back into my archives of footage to find what happened, I want to teach that same camera that shot that footage to tell me about it as it's happening, to tell me about it immediately so that I can stop it. The best route that I have found is to take a very measured approach to identify what the needs are, what your actual needs are, and then to be careful about not just piling on too many things.
Welcome to another podcast of Make American Manufacturing Competitive Again. Today, we have a different guest. We have a guest for Charlie Mayne, who's from the real estate industry, but his expertise is in operations and understanding the built environment market very well. He's been a great supporter of real estate technology initiatives, and he has a lot of knowledge and expertise in that end, which we hope to explore in this podcast. Something about him: he has three kids. He's finding time to go through his summer with three kids and also try to fit in golf, and thankfully fit in this episode to talk with us. And I'm thankful for him. Charlie, welcome to the podcast, and glad to have you.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And so let's just kick this off, right? I would want you to introduce yourself, your background in real estate, or your general working background, and what are you passionate about in general? Maybe just kick us off there, and then we'll get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Charlie Mayne. I'm the managing director of asset management for LeFrak Residential. My job touches, pretty much all aspects of managing our portfolio of about 18,000 apartments. We've got a group of buildings in Jersey City, New York, Brooklyn, Queens, and in Miami. And pretty much what I'm responsible for doing and the things that I'm passionate about, it's the top to bottom. It's the what can we extract, how much, what can we do with the assets that we have, how can we improve them, how can we get as much rent as we possibly can get, and really monitor our expenses as well, to run efficiently. I've been with LeFrak for about 13 years and had a variety of different roles, but all of them on the multifamily residential side. One of the things that's come up recently, and what we'll talk about today, is in an effort to find those efficiencies and to find those advantages, is utilizing technology. And it's something that I've been interested in and have utilized and tested out in our portfolio. So that's kind of where we are with everything.
Oh, that was a great intro, Charlie. Thank you for that. We talk a lot about technology and efficiencies and how technology can be used in the real estate world. It's a very large topic. There is an enterprise side to property in general, AI usage within the enterprise. But what's less talked about is the built environment, the actual property management, the boots on the ground maintenance, the security, and all the risk that comes in. How with the tenant experience in the physical world, that is less talked about in the AI context of AI, because it's mostly chatbots that people talk about, or workflows. Can you talk a little bit about the state of market in the US? What are the investments generally the commercial and the multifamily market are involved with, and what are the challenges now and the future? What are the owners actually lose sleep about?
The owners lose sleep about what they could be doing in the buildings what can we do in the buildings to minimize our exposure, and how can I run the building as efficiently as possible? The trend and the kind of market forces at the moment are pushing towards AI as a marketing tool. Everyone wants to pitch you and talk to you about their enhanced AI version of whatever product or platform that they had. They're doing AI. It's a very trendy thing. When it comes down to it, it really, in my eyes, has been an exercise in looking at how we do things. Where can you be more efficient by utilizing this technology? Whether it's on the customer service side, through your marketing and being more targeted and being actually more intentional with like who it is that you're talking to and how you're doing it. Your ability to manage a building with fewer people, or to give, top rate customer service with fewer people. That's really the push right now. On the liability side, the stuff that keeps the owners up and keeps everyone, up at night, it's really having the ability not just to find, not just to identify areas where, you can improve and limit your liability. It's to actually catch them proactively before they become a problem. And I think that that's one of the things I see, one of the directions that I really see this going.
So basically more proactive approach to management of properties.
Absolutely. The example would be an incident or something that some type of incident reporting. Instead of trying to find the best tool to go back into my archives of footage to find what happened, I want to teach that same camera that shot that footage to tell me about it as it's happening, to tell me about it immediately so that I can stop it. And also so that I can identify trends and learn from it and use it in the future to, to really improve the way that I operate. And I see that as the direction that this is going.
Great. So from an operational standpoint, obviously proactive is the way to go, as opposed to reactive. Having technologies that can not so much predict the future, but can at least make people aware of something that's happening in real time, so you can get to it before it becomes a problem.
Absolutely.
So that's a good base, right? How do leaders like yourself think about tech and AI investments? Obviously that's the goal, the business goal there, but you also have to walk the vision, right? So you have to invest, you have to see how things work. Some things may work, some things may not work. What has been your experience and the best practices for actually doing this in the real world?
So I've been fortunate to have to work for a group that's very interested in this space and has allowed me to actually explore a lot of different, products and avenues for ways to improve our operation in the form of, new businesses that have come to us and pitched some technology platforms. I would say that, as far as the best route that I have found is to take a very measured approach to identify what the needs are, what your actual needs are, and then to be careful about not just piling on too many things, right? The technology is only as good as you make it, right? You have to teach it, you have to train it, you have to take the time to implement it into your business processes. You have to make sure that it makes sense for that. You have to get buy-in from the team, because it's one thing if I'm excited about a piece of technology that's going to be in my buildings. If the people using it on the ground don't actually embrace it, then I've got nothing, right? It's taking the time to be real thoughtful about how all of these platforms and services are actually introduced, and to be clear to the company and to the people that work with you as to what the goal or the aim is. One of the other things that I've found is that there are a lot of people coming up with the brand new solution, but they're all small parts of the puzzle, and they're all these small pieces. And trying to if you have too many of those pieces and you're trying to fit them all together and stuff them into your process, then you've really got nothing. You've got a lot of areas that are vulnerable, and we're finding that yes, it gets the latest new thing and the latest tech is super exciting, and you can see the benefits, and everyone can come in and give you the value proposition of it, and it's great. But the truth is, you have to actually look at like how you do business and what you do, to really use it the right way, and be patient with it, and make sure that you do give it a chance to succeed.
No, that's great. That's great advice. Other real estate people we have spoken with, leaders we've spoken with, some of the challenges that they have had is exactly what you were saying. Everybody comes in with a little bit of intelligence, and but what you guys need is a solution that encompasses so many things, and somehow it's up to the property owner now to stitch everything together,
Right.
and that becomes a exercise, and it's just a job, which is not something that directly adds value to the tenant or the customer at that point.
That's right.
And so just thinking about that a little bit more, I mean, I'm sure this has happened even with software. When software first came in, there were these disparate apps and so on. And then there were bigger and bigger systems that were built. Do you see personally, the way, from the history that you've seen, do you see the property owners doing this themselves, being able to stitch together different technologies to give them a competitive edge themselves, taking on that as an investment and as a real thing? Or is it more you're just waiting for the companies to catch up to the customers? Which way do you see it
I
going?
mean, I think it depends on the appetite. It depends on the appetite and the kind of, the kind of owner or developer or landlord that you're talking about. In the end, the residential business, multifamily, is a series of doing the same thing over and over again, right? It's the same. I'm buying the same things. I'm doing the same things. I'm turning apartments. I'm renting apartments. It's over and over and over. I have so many units. The buildings are open all the time. When you start looking at how your business works and what your, expense profile is and how the buildings operate, these are the tools that can kind of take you to the next level and really give you some efficiencies that wouldn't have been possible before. Whether it's not having to staff a front desk, not having to employ as many people and on the customer service side, using these tools ultimately can save you money. So it's a worthwhile experience, I think, for property owners to look into.
And do you see that the successful owners who are able to do this, do you see this as a competitive advantage, or you just see this as, they doing it for less money, or is it all of, where do you see the advantage? What is the pot of gold here that?
Competitive advantage, and the thing about competitive advantages are that soon they become an exercise to keep up with everyone else, right? It is if you aren't using this kind of technology, like let's say in the way that you're handling your customer service and work orders and things like that, if you aren't embracing that, then you're going to fall behind the curve. Because it happens quickly, and it happens throughout the business very quickly. Most of my competitors are doing the same thing, and it's been there have been a lot of changes and enhancements in the last like 2-3 years, where the new normal involves some type of like AI, involves some type of predictive modeling, and actually technology that makes your processes better and makes them faster and more efficient.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic for me and for the audience here. I think it's just double clicking into what you can share with us here as to what sort of projects that you guys have taken on and found success in. And just broad sense, I'm not looking for any confidential information here, but sure. Just in broad sense of what sort of initiatives in the multifamily space have yielded very promising futures.
So I'd say that right out of the gate, the most fruitful kind of endeavor that we've taken on here is, like I said, we've got about 18,000 apartments. It's over 115 different properties. You can imagine that's a lot of cameras, that's a lot of footage, that's a lot of security detail that's required. One of the things that we've been successful with is actually utilizing the money that we've spent on all of that security equipment, on all of those cameras, and introducing, technologies like Mayne that can work directly with what we have and be integrated and running an algorithm through an existing camera. I'm not going out and I'm buying new stuff for all of these places. I'm actually finding an add-on, a tool to enhance what I already have. I would say that barrier to entry, like that particular part of this investment has been very, very good, because it didn't require a ton to get off the ground. Once that has taken place, what I found is that the more time and effort that is put into actually looking at things that are going to help your business and help your operation, the better the tool works for you, right? We use this as a dashboard and a jumping off point for identifying things in our front desks, communicating with our doormen in some of our market portfolio, making sure that cleaning schedules are withheld or are being followed the way that we want them to. And that is all taking place and provided for you. So it's not like I have to go out of the way or my staff has to go out of the way to do that. It's just provided for you. If you teach it and you work with it, then it can come in handy.
That's great. Obviously, these pilots or these technologies have some level of payback. But where do you see the future going? Like, how is this all going to evolve in the industry in general? How is it going to shape the future of the industry? And what's it going to change overall?
My hope is when we get back to like that predictive aspect of this and the ability to point things out and to find things that really wouldn't have been possible for you to find before, right?
Yeah.
When you talk about like the like on an incident prevention side, like on the liability side, there's a lot of value in actually looking at like where things have taken place and what kind of incidents and what kind of triggers and there are kind of clues or keys that are out there to signal to you that something is going to happen. And if you can prevent one of these incidents, by using this technology, then it practically is paying for itself. It is that's really where I see this as going back to an owner's ability to sleep at night. This is all making it easier to find things and avoid problems. I see that as a huge part of this.
Yeah, we were just talking earlier before this podcast, Charlie, about the incident that happened in New York with the gun shooting. And that's one of the situations where I was reading the Wall Street Journal's report of this article, and they were talking about they have advanced surveillance systems, but, it really did not work. And it goes back to what you were saying. You may have the best system to go back and look for stuff, but you don't have a system to prevent it. It's one of those things that unfortunately incidents happen, and this triggers this kind of conversation. But there is a human element to this where we think the technology and the processes have to mature together, right?
Yeah.
And do you at LeFrak, do you have I know you said you work in a group that manages these technologies, but what is the human element? Are companies ready to take this kind of technology? Do they have to create new teams? What do they have to do to get started?
They don't need to create new teams. Like I said, you have to be very intentional about what it is that you're going for and take the time to introduce the platform of technology to the people that are going to be using it in the field. What's great about what we're doing with Moy at the moment is it doesn't add anything into or add any additional steps to what my people in the buildings are doing. It is taking existing technology and providing you with information to help you make better decisions. So no, you don't have to build up a team to bring this kind of technology on. You shouldn't have to put additional resources towards it. It's really just making sure that it fits, that it's intentional, and that you're using it and reading it and learning from it.
So you don't see the need to have innovation teams doing this kind of stuff separately staffed, and
I'm never going to advocate for more headcount. So I'll put it that way.
Spoken like a true
yes, yeah. Keep it lean and mean around here.
Lean and mean. So just talking about camera technologies more in specific, since we're talking about that, obviously cameras do a lot of things, right? We can do everything from occupancy to asset utilization to incident response, tenant experience. Do you have some specific use cases that you can share with us in terms of which use cases have been the most valuable, the most use of the analytics coming from CCTVs?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things we've really benefited from is it's the classic conundrum where you can have tons of cameras and all of this footage and be shooting it, your camera at every part of your property and everything. That takes people to look at it it takes time for those people to look at it and to see something. So having the technology to actually pick up things as they're happening and identify it and inform you that they are happening has been super useful. We use this in our market portfolio where some of our amenity spaces, if we've got a overnight staff that's working at the front desk and there is some type of intrusion into an amenity space, or there is someone lingering in the hallway or in the back entrance or something like that, our cameras actually pick it up and inform them and send a notification to the guy that's sitting at the front desk, like, get up, go check this out. This is happening. It also makes them and puts them on the hook for and makes them responsible for replying to and telling and saying that they've addressed it. Yeah, this thing that the camera picked up, I went and looked at it. I checked it out. I saw it, everything's taken care of. Or found this incident, found this thing that's going on there. It actually makes them accountable for it. And in many cases, when you're talking about overnight staff and there's a lot of space in residential buildings to be covered. You can't have eyes on everything at all times. This really gives you a way to know everything that's going on by alerting you that it's happening. So I mean, I think that's been a hugely beneficial for our operation.
Yeah, it's great information, Charlie. Thank you. It seems to me that although this technology is maturing today, a lot of real estate owners still don't have it. It's something that everybody's used a chatbot, but not everybody has ventured into this space. And what sort of, if you just wanted to give some advice to your peers, on utilizing the CCTV AI technology very specifically, what would your advice be to leaders who are considering this?
I think the biggest piece of advice I would have is to have an open mind about it and to think about the investment, and that you're not just trying to figure out a payback and ROI on what this kind of stuff can do, because it actually is much bigger, because it deals with prevention, and it deals with addressing and taking care of and making sure that you can avoid problems that can cost you an awful lot of money. So really, I think that I think the biggest piece of advice would be like that this is for not a lot of work up front, could be very beneficial for you, very beneficial for you in the long term.
Thanks, Charlie. I mean, this was a great episode. Thank you for your time, and thank you for
Absolutely.
all your advice and your expertise. I'm sure our audience will enjoy this. And do you have anything else you want to talk about, or?
Thanks for taking the time. I love this stuff. I love talking about this stuff. It's a real passion of mine. I'm a complete geek about it, and I think that there's a lot of exciting things happening in this space, and I'm curious to see where it goes.
Well, thank you, Charlie, and I'll add the transcript in the same podcast on the bottom. Charlie Mayne's contact will be there, and if our viewers want to reach out to you, we'll feel free to have them reach out to you.
Great, thanks a lot.